I've gotten quite a lot of questions about how I made this rabbit, so I decided to do a bit longer of a video where I explain some more. The first step was breaking the plates. I used this wheeled glass nipper. It's nice and controlled, I find. A hammer could also work, but I don't recommend it. I chopped the pieces up to the size that I wanted. I used in total 3 of these white plates. They cut a lot neater than the purple one. And I wanted to save this golden pattern, so I ended up cutting off the bits around it. You can't always predict how it's going to cut, but generally the smaller the distance you cut, the more likely it is to go well. That's my experience at least. You can see this last one, I did cut it a bit wonky, so that's my bad. But I can still use that bit as well. As a base, I used this metal rabbit head that I found in IKEA. It's nice and sturdy. To glue the pieces on, I use this tile adhesive. You don't need to use this brand, but I really like this one. I just put it in a bag, cut a hole in it, and then I can pipe it straight onto the rabbit. I put the pieces on one by one. I like the idea of having this gold edge around the edge of the ears. I wanted to use half a glass bead for the eye, but I needed to use 2 hands. It was so tough to break. I placed the eye a bit lower. I thought that looked better. To actually use these flowers, I had to cut them a bit more, but I made sure to keep the order right so I could put them on correctly. I found these plates cheap in a second-hand shop, by the way, and the money went to charity. I didn't film cutting them up completely small, but they have to be quite small to be able to fit around the curve of the base. Otherwise you'll get jagged edges sticking out and definitely cut yourselves on them. I should probably also tell you that I would recommend wearing gloves, even though I don't like wearing them because I can't really feel properly what I'm doing, and I feel very clumsy with them. Each plate had 4 of these flower patterns, so I had 12 in total to place on the rabbit. I used a piece of the purple plate for the nose, and once the details were on, I filled in all the gaps just with white. And now we're ready for the last step, which is grouting. I used a dark grey grout for the ears. I didn't film it, but I got it from the hardware store, and it's a powder that you mix with water. I used white for the body, just to make sure to fill in all the gaps nicely. You don't have much more than 30 minutes to work with this, because it does start to dry and crumble. If you don't want to use your fingers, you can use this old spatula or something like it. When I'm satisfied that the grout got everywhere, I then use a damp cloth to wipe off the excess. I made the mistake of grouting both in grey and white at the same time. In hindsight, I should have done the grey in the ears first and then waited for it to dry before I did the rest. At the end, you just polish it with a piece of cloth. And there we have it. Now it's all finished and ready to go on the wall. I really love it. I'd love to see your mosaics if you give it a try. Thanks for watching.